Good afternoon. Here is the TV Sapienza News at noon. News hour. On the news is Oluchi Ojobamidele. Yaga Africa ahead of the November 8, 2025 Anambra governorship elections has reiterated the role of civil society organizations and media collaboration to improve citizens' participation and bridge the gap between citizens and government through data-driven election observation. It said this during the process and results verification for transparency held on Friday in Awka, Anambra State, to educate CSO leaders and media practitioners on data-driven election observation methodology. Speaking during the event themed CSO Leaders and Media Roundtable on Election with a focus on Anambra State, the Director of Programs, Yaga Africa, Cynthia Mbamalo, said the exercise aims to sensitize participants to the overview of Watching the Vote project for the 2025 Anambra governorship election, deployment plans, and electoral reform agenda. The event, according to Mbamalo, also discusses political and security trends ahead of the Anambra governorship elections. During an interview with journalists, Mbamalo also identified the general lapses reported during the two by-elections in the state and how to tackle them to ensure the success of the November 8 election, adding that Yaga will deploy about 250 observers in addition to 22 mobile observers. Still in Anambra State, the Anambra State Police Command has arrested 4 suspects for allegedly vandalizing high-tension cables and transformer parts in separate operations across the state. The Anambra State Police spokesman Tochukwu Ikenga, who disclosed this in a statement on Friday, said several stolen cables and transformer materials were also recovered during the raids carried out in Onitsha and Obosi. Ikenga explained that operatives of the command's Rapid Response Squad, acting on credible intelligence, stormed a vandals hideout along Atani Road, Onitsha, on August 21 and arrested the 3 suspects. He gave their names as Adamu Ali, 25 years, Usman Suleiman, 22 years, and Isa Abdullahi, 26 years. Adding that investigation revealed the suspects are part of a syndicate that specializes in vandalizing and selling power installations, with Lagos identified as a major sales outlet. Also, in a separate incident, security operatives attached to Isowulu police station while on patrol along Ascension Anglican Church Road, Obosi, intercepted 4 young men carrying a suspicious black shopping bag with assorted cut-to-size armored cables, cutting tools, gloves, and other items. Ikenga said one of the suspects later attempted to escape, but sustained gunshot injuries in the process and was confirmed dead at the hospital. He warned vandals against sabotage in public infrastructure, stressing that the command will continue to clamp down on such criminal elements. The National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has alerted Nigerians to the circulation of counterfeit Cowbell milk 12-gram sachets across the country. NAFDAC said on Friday that the marketing authorization holder and manufacturer of Cowbell Promacida Nigeria Limited had informed the agency about the counterfeit product, which bore a close resemblance to the genuine brand. The alert posted on the agency's website noted that the counterfeit products involve unauthorized use of the brand name, packaging design, NAFDAC registration number, and trademark. According to the agency, Promacida confirmed that the counterfeit packaging design was last used for production in September 2023 and that the fake product is neither manufactured nor distributed by the company. Differentiating the products, NAFDAC explained that the genuine Cowbell milk was creamy and packaged with the revised PNG artwork, Our Creamy Goodness. It added that the printing of the batch details was done with laser printer. The coding is done on the coding area on the sachet, and the sealing and cutting on the vertical sides are automated. NAFDAC warned that the use or consumption of counterfeit Cowbell poses serious health and safety risk, as it may contain harmful substances, including toxic chemicals, unapproved additives, or diluted ingredients that do not meet food safety standards. The agency directed all zonal directors and state coordinators to conduct surveillance and mop up the counterfeit products in their areas. It also advised distributors, retailers, and consumers to be cautious within the supply chain to prevent the distribution and sale of the fake product, stressing that all food items should only be obtained from authorized suppliers. The Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria (ASBON) has called on the Economic Community of West African States (ECOWAS) to sustain its commitment towards the actualization of a single currency for the sub-region. According to ASBON, the initiative holds a significant promise for trade and economic integration. Recall that the new ECOWAS currency dubbed ECO is scheduled for launch in 2027, according to the president of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Omar Toure. Speaking, ASBON President Femi Ebweshola said the proposal, if well implemented, would eliminate exchange rate barriers, boost intra-African trade, and ease cross-border investment. Ebweshola, however, warned that the initiative requires more than political declaration, noting that wide variation in inflation levels, fiscal discipline, and institutional strength across African economies poses a major challenge. The Independent National Electoral Commission says more than 500,000 Nigerians have completed their online pre-registration for the continuous voter registration exercise within just 5 days of its pre-launch. INEC disclosed this on Friday during the flag-off of its nationwide sensitization campaign aimed at boosting public participation in the voter registration process. The chairman of the commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, who was represented by a national commissioner, May Abamuche Mbu, described the turnout as a strong indication that Nigerians remain eager to participate in the democratic process. The chairman also announced that CVR exercise, which began with online pre-registration on August 18, 2025, would enter its fiscal phase on August 25, 2025. Yakubu has called on eligible Nigerians, especially young people, newly eligible voters, and those needing to update or transfer their voter information to take full advantage of the ongoing exercise, which will take place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday. 2 top commanders of Boko Haram and 11 other terrorists have been killed in a recent counter-offensive by combined troops of the Northeast Joint Task Force Operation, Hadinkai, in the Bita and Wogo communities in the Goza local government area of Borno State. The commanders, identified as Abu Nazir and Abu Fatima, led the terrorists to 2 failed attempts to attack the 2 communities on Thursday, August 21, and Friday, August 22, leading to the killing of the 13 terrorists by ground troops, in close support with their air component command of the theater of operations. Confirming the killing of the 2 Boko Haram commanders in the early morning counterattack on the terrorists, the theater commander, Northeast Joint Task Force Operation Hadinkai, Major General Abdusalam Abubakar, disclosed that the terrorists attempted to infiltrate Bita and Wogo at midnight on Thursday in separate operations, but troops immediately engaged them in a fierce gun battle. The theater commander says 6 motorcycles belonging to the terrorists were recovered, along with several AK-47 rifles, a cart of ammunition. Major General Abubakar disclosed further that several of the terrorists escaped with varying degrees of injuries in the repelled attacks. The 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Dati Baba-Ahmed, says the opposition coalition floated on the platform of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, and is deceiving Nigerians that it can rescue the country from the pool of underdevelopment. Baba-Ahmed expressed his willingness to be Obi's running mate in the 2027 presidential election. Already, Obi, who has expressed his interest in running for president in the 2027 election, has identified with members of the ADC coalition. However, Baba-Ahmed said that he desired that the former Anambra governor would remain in the Labour Party and be the party's flag bearer in the next poll. We'll take a short break, but the news will make a return after the break. Stay with us on TV Sapienza News. Welcome back to the news. The lawyer representing some of the National Youth Service Corps members assaulted by local vigilantes in Anambra State, Cyrus Ono, has accused the security outfit of attempting to silence the victims with a 10,000 naira payoff. Ono, who also raised the alarm over the safety of the victims, alleged that 6 of them were offered 10,000 naira each, while others were offered between 25,000 naira and 100,000 naira. Recall that in a video that went viral on Tuesday, armed operatives of the Anambra State security outfit codenamed Operation Udogachi were seen assaulting the corps members in Oba, Idemili South local government area of the state. Speaking, Ono said he had written to the NYSC demanding immediate relocation of the victims over the threat to their lives, noting that although the money offered the victims in the presence of the NYSC local government inspector was tagged as compensation and transportation, but was aimed at silencing the corps members. He also accused the State Police Command of attempting to sweep the case under the carpet. But when contacted, the Command Police Public Relations Officer Tochukwu Kenga denied the allegation, insisting that the police did not try to bury the case, but that one of the victims' initial unavailability temporarily stalled the police investigation at the beginning, but assured that justice would be served. Somalia's 3 ex-presidents Sharif Sheikh Ahmed, Abdi Kasim Salad Hassan, and Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo have strongly denounced President Hassan Sheikh Mohamed's government for what they characterize as the unlawful appropriation and sale of public land. They accuse the government of orchestrating land transfers without adequate oversight or legal protocols, noting that many of the disposals bypassed the National Contracts Agency and failed to deposit proceeds into the state treasury. They also condemned the evictions in the Tarabunka, where clashes erupted between rival security factions, as emblematic of dangerous state overreach. The letter urged businesses and the public to abstain from supporting or purchasing illegally transferred properties, labeling such deals as illegitimate and high risk. However, Somalia's civil society and political analysts have welcomed the intervention, calling it a powerful call for governance accountability. The United Nations have officially declared a famine in Gaza, the first time it has done so in the Middle East, with experts warning 500,000 people faces catastrophic hunger. UN's Emergency Relief Coordinator Tom Fletcher blamed Israel, accusing it of systematic obstruction of aid deliveries to the war-ravaged Palestinian territory. But responding, Israel's foreign ministry said the declaration that famine is now present in and around Gaza City is based on Hamas lies laundered through organizations with vested interests. Meanwhile, the assessment of famine was made by the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification Initiative, a coalition of monitors tasked by the UN to warn of impending crisis. It defines famine as occurring when 20% of households have an extreme lack of food, 30% of children under 5 are acutely malnourished, and at least 2 in every 10,000 people die daily from outright starvation or from malnutrition and disease. On sports news, the head coach of the Super Eagles, Eric Chell, has released a list of 31 players ahead of next month's 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Nigeria will host Rwanda in September before taking on South Africa on September 9. Chell has called up regular names such as Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface, Stanley Nwabali, Calvin Bassey, and William Troost Ekong. Sevilla striker Jerome Adams has earned his maiden invitation, while Terem Murphy has been named in the squad after returning from a long-term injury. The 2 fixtures will make or mar the Eagles' chance of qualifying for the tournament in the United States, Mexico, and Canada next year. Nigeria is currently in 4th place in Group C with 7 points behind South Africa, Rwanda, and Benin Republic. Still on sports, 2 countries have qualified for the semi-finals of the ongoing African Nations Championship CHAN tournament The two countries through to the last four are Morocco and Madagascar, following their victories against Tanzania and Kenya, respectively. The remaining quarter-final fixtures will take place today as Uganda will face Senegal, while Sudan will tackle Algeria. The winners of both fixtures will join Madagascar and Morocco in the semi-final stage. To end the news, here are the major news headlines. We told you that INEC says it will enter its fiscal phase continuous voter registration exercise on August 25. And Somalia's 3 ex-presidents have strongly denounced President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud's government for what they characterize as the unlawful appropriation and sale of public land. And the head coach of the Super Eagles, Eric Chell, has released a list of 31 players ahead of next month's 2026 World Cup qualifiers. And that was the TV Sapienza News at 1. On behalf of the technical and editorial crew, I am Oluchi Ojobamidele. Thank you for being here with us. Have a beautiful afternoon.